first things first, can you tell me your name and company?
Sure. I'm Marie Malecha. I'm the CEO of Dezenhall Resources.
And so you know a lot about PR, and I want to pick your brain. What is the modern brand's approach to PR? What does that look like in 2026 and beyond?
The modern brand's approach to PR, if they're doing it right, should be really multifaceted. So I'm a crisis manager, and crisis management is a containment discipline. PR is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
However, they're two sides of a similar coin. If you're doing PR right, you're thinking about thought leadership and how your executives are positioned. You're thinking about reaching your consumer, and then you're thinking about everything in between. And everything in between is so individual for every company that having enough information to fully understand who your consumers are and who your audiences are is real.
Yeah. And you mentioned the other half of the crisis management aspect. I'm putting you on the spot here, but I'm curious, like with news cycles are so shortened and condensed and like hyper intense now, does that affect crisis management?
Hugely. In some ways, I often give advice that's very unpopular and arguably should be cheap. It's to do nothing because a lot of things will pass fairly quickly. That being said, something that is small can become something that's big enormously fast. And that means you have to react fairly quickly as opposed to waiting a day or a week.
Yeah.
But a lot of that is a judgment call. And if that's not something you're used to making, I can't give you a rubric for when to jump in and when to stay away. It really is often more of a feeling.
Yeah.
Use as much data as you can, but the reality is what else is happening in the world? Do you have some other crisis that's going to be more important that people's attention is going to move to, or is your thing the thing?
Yeah. I was gonna say understanding the when to react and when not to is having an expert like yourself that
Reading the
they will work
moment.
with. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Last question for you. We're in Cannes and we're sweating a whole lot, but what is something you're very, very excited about being in this space?
I think it is interesting to hear that those that are in advertising are thinking more broadly about who they are influencing in their advertising. Now, I mean that in the sense of like creator influencers. It's marketing's always been influence. And I think people understanding the psychology of how the American and global electorate is moving is important. And that's something we've always had to do in our business because we're trying to deal with sort of the negative psychology. And in marketing, you're dealing with the positive psychology.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing your genius with us.
Thank you.